Coach, a lot of things I'm sure to unpack, but just 45 threes from your team, a season high. Where did that come from?
Well, we knew they were going to give us all the threes we wanted, and we knew that was going to happen, and so we didn't start the game the way we wanted to with what we had talked about, trying to move the ball, and again we knew we could shoot a three anytime we wanted to, and if we of the 45, I would say 95% were wide open, but that was by design. That's what they were looking for, and when we obviously weren't making them, they were going to back up even more, and which why not? And but the way we started the game defensively wasn't good. It wasn't the same sense of urgency. They can shoot the ball. Everybody knows that. And we got tripped, but normally we have somebody fixing that play, and then breakdowns defensively, but give them credit. I mean, they came in and short some guys, which sometimes can play to your advantage, can relax your team a little bit, and I thought they played relaxed. I thought Mark did a good job doing what he needed to do to have his guys ready to play, but again, we're disappointed, and it's just we didn't honestly do the things that we had talked about, what we felt we had to do, offensively probably more than anything, and then defensively, some of the breakdowns we have, we just can't have.
Yeah, with the 45 three-pointers, is this a good enough shooting team to take that many,
No.
even if the opponent wants you to?
No, absolutely not. And again, it goes back. We've talked about it. But it's hard to get the ball inside when you're not making threes because they're just going to keep backing. But they've got good length. They've got length, and they're going to play personnel. You could tell they really wanted to try to take away the lob tonight and let Zakai go in and see if he could finish enough and stand with some shooters on that penetration. But it's no different than everybody. We've been played the same pretty much all year. And some of the threes at the end, it'll look different because at the end, we weren't necessarily looking for the three there at the end when we were down. But they were back in there, and then at the end they were starting to switch it, which you'd expect them to do. But we had, I thought, some turnovers at a couple things that we can't dribble. We can't come out of a timeout, dribble the ball out of bounds, come out and not execute what we're trying to do, and little things, But again, give them credit. We've got to be better. And again, it's just I wasn't real happy with our mindset defensively at the start of the game. And but give them credit. They run good offense, and like teams in our league do. But I just thought we let them get relaxed, and they took advantage of it.
For this roster, what is the scoring at the rim? Like, how can y'all do that consistently?
Well, we need to throw it in there. We got it, but it's all about space. And when you play Igor and D Stone, that's not what they do. But I do think that Cade and Felix can give us some of that. Are they going to make them all? No, but they need to touch it some. And we've talked about that enough too. But we didn't start the game executing. I can't tell you a number of times we just didn't execute what we said we wanted to do, and that's on me. That's, again, obviously I didn't get the message to them loud and clear, and we'll fix that. But again, all you got to do is look at the numbers, and people are going to say, hey, until they prove they can make them, we're going to let them have all they want. And so if we're not going to work harder offensively to make – and if you shoot early and quick against a team that's sagging, it really puts hard on you to get offensive rebounds because they're set. You got to get the ball going side to side, and we didn't do that at all early in the game. And give them credit because they're trying to get certain guys to take shots late in the shot clock, all those type things, and we kind of settled into that.
What was the defensive mindset to start, and how disappointing is that coming off of Saturday night? Really
disappointing, and it really disappointing because, like the first play, I think he tripped coming over to guard a little bit of their action, and normally somebody's flying there to help. We didn't get that, and broke down just communication-wise. And after the effort we put in not to come with the same focus, and especially playing at home, coming off a loss, it's tough.
Rick, with Zakai, I guess what happened at halftime that allowed him to get back in the game?
He thought he tweaked his knee a little bit, You know, obviously was something that bothered him because he would never do what he did, going straight back. And it's sound, or he wouldn't have played. He said it was all sound. I think he might have felt like a sprain or something like that. But stability-wise, they checked him out while he was back here, and they said it was all fine.
Could you tell a difference in his play after that
Not
happened?
really, because he said he felt like he could go.
Yeah, Rick, here.
Where-
Right here.
Yeah.
You kind of touched on this a little bit, talking about it. Unless we prove we can make them, they're going to keep doing that. Is it just a function of the guys just need to be able to be confident enough to knock them down, or what do you think is leading to that right now with offensively here the last couple of games of drop off?
We've had games where we will, and I'm hoping at the right time we're going to knock them down. I mean, teams go through it. I do think we can shoot the ball. I do. It goes back, but we shouldn't be a team that, again, think that we have to rely on one guy, two guys to do it. But I know how hard these guys work at shooting the ball. And again, we want to take our shots, but it's got to be in how we talked about doing it. I mean, for no other reason to move the defense to give yourself a chance to be a better offensive rebounding team. If you come down and, first two plays of the game, they go under, and when we've talked about moving it and shot goes up, we're not ready for it. And that's where it goes back to discipline and coaching. And like I said, evidently I didn't get the message across to them loud and clear, and hopefully we'll learn from it.
Coach in the back here, what do you have to do to avoid those defensive lapses that you've kind of talked about?
Well, offense would help a little bit of it because it puts so much pressure on your defense when you're not making shots, when you're not scoring. And but how do you avoid it? Some guys that could, is sometimes when the guys have been in it with you a long time and they're the ones that make the critical mistakes, those are the ones that hurt, because they know better. And like a couple of times there's just rules that we have, and you guys watch us practice, that we didn't execute them. We know if somebody running pistol action, we're going to switch it. We didn't switch it. End up fouling. Those type things, I mean, at the end of the half had, those 2 points at the end of the half at the rim would have been great. It helps you. And it gives you a little chance to get out in front. It helps your offense. You get some separation. Guys settle in a little bit. Like I thought we let them continue to play with the comfort with their lead. And some of it obviously was them shooting the ball, scoring the ball. But our offense, it's got to be better. It's got to be better.
What did you like about what Igor gave you on the offense?
I thought he was relaxed. I liked both he and D Stone's demeanor. I really did. I thought they settled down and played, and I thought honestly they should have probably taken more threes. I mean, they're the guys that looked like they were doing it, and I didn't think they. Again, I don't think any of them were forced. Really, a couple of them at the end maybe when we were trying to catch up, and again we weren't. At the end of the last 2 minutes, we weren't necessarily looking for a three as much as if we would have taken a two if we could have gotten it. But, it's just, again, I don't want to not give Kentucky credit. I really don't, because I thought they probably, from what we thought they would do, I thought they did exactly what we thought they would do. And we didn't handle it very well.
Rick, how many different ways are there to get a message communicated? Because obviously with maybe 8, 9 guys right now, it's hard to drastically change the lineup or anything. How many different ways are there to get the message to them?
Well, one, we've lost 4 games, so we're not that bad. Okay, we're not doing that bad. We're in the best league in the country against a team that has had big wins. There's no given that we're going to win every game, even if we play well. We want to win every game, but that team we're playing, they want to win too. And and I think this league is such a fine line that the details matter a lot. Possessions matter. Coaches always talk about there's 10 4-minute games, you got to win them. Well, there's been teams, a week and a half ago or a week ago that won 9 of those and lost the last one and lost a game. So to me, it's more about winning possessions. and you got to win enough possessions, and we didn't win enough possessions. And but it won't get any easier. And but I know our guys are disappointed, which I mean I know how much they care. I know how hard they work. But again, we've lost 4 games against all against top 10 teams. So we can get better, and we've got to get better. And knowing what I know about these guys, I think we will get better because if it didn't hurt them, I'd be concerned. But I know how it hurts them.
What's the challenge of deciding when to maybe crowd the paint while not leaving wide open three-pointers?
Say that again.
What's the challenge or balance of either crowding the paint on defense and then leaving a wide open three? Like, what was adjustment you made in that first half for that?
All 3-point shooting teams want to get to the lane so they can spray it out. All, really good 3-point shooting teams, they want those inside-out passes. And I'll say this: the threes didn't beat us tonight. I mean, that's not what beat us. They were timely for them, and it keeps it close, obviously. But you go back to backdoor layups. Those, they got some cuts to the basket that we shouldn't give up. They go in and dunk a ball, get fouled. We fouled a 3-point shooter that made 2 of those. You give us 2 of those plays, it could be different, but we didn't do it again. But most teams that are really good at it, they want the lane to get those looks. But again, they really, they're a 5-out team, but we played against that all year too. And again, give them credit. They had shots and they made them. And I would say that ours was probably a little bit more contested because I don't think were the least bit concerned about us shooting the ball tonight. Thanks, Coach. Okay.